Yo, wear a fucking mask when you diddy bop. Fuck a Trump supporter, fuck a Fed, fuck a city cop. Grew up in the city where the children's popping 50 shots. Say you in the streets, but we know that you really not. Riding in a bucket with my OG the Pistola. Justice for the family, Ashan Matarosa. 2020 showed us that we all gotta be soldiers. Media activism, lacking vision, mastering up performance. This is how you practice what you learning in those courses. Gotta see it clearly, make your vision less distorted. How you bringing up these conversations with your family when disrespecting women makes you feel so manly? Your favorite DJ's getting cancelled, and some of you Pinoy support the system we dismantle. The Beverman and Malik Lions featured on the track, spreading the message of reflection. Please contextualize your past.
Wipe your fucking ass when that shit drops. I ain't getting caught with skid marks when this shit gets hot. Revolution gonna happen whether you in it or not. Seeing MAGA hats getting stomped really hits a spot. Look who sits atop them thrones up in Washington. Corporations all up in the pockets of these congressmen. Billionaires hoarding all the water and the oxygen. Colonized minds just love to swallow all of it. Who's over here kneeling with the popo? We straight up fucking dying while you posing for that photo. 1 minute you're smiling and the next you in a chokehold. Ain't no fucking justice, system is a no-show. You keep saying it don't concern you until this country that you love goes and burns you. Who you gonna turn to? Them pooters you elected? Well, if history is any indication, you ain't getting shit.
What we gotta do to make you listen? I mean, what we gotta do to make you listen? I mean, what else we gotta do to make you listen? I mean, what we gotta do to make you listen? What we gotta do to make you listen? I mean, what else we gotta do to make you listen? I mean, what can we do to make you listen? What can we do to make you listen? Wear a fucking mask when you diddy bop. Fuck a county sheriff, fuck a fed, fuck a city cop. Sanitize it with a drop or two of gasoline. We live in an era where snitches go live on IG. And IVs and ventilators for you MAGA drones. And fuck you MAGA Trump loving Filipinos homes. I better see Filipinos show up for black lives, calling out Duterte's terror bill and drug genocides. I'm coughing off the kush, not corona. Kids still in cages at the border in Arizona. And as of this recording, ain't no judge signed papers to arrest the dirty pigs that murdered Breonna Taylor. I'm Darth Vader on you mama's boys. Instead of calling out your rapey bros, you making zero noise. Call up Gavin Newsom, tell him listen, his brother's dying from this COVID shit in San Quentin.
Wear a fucking mask when you see me stop it still. Fuck Trump, fuck pigs and abolish cops. And we've been stuck at home for like 8 months with late funds. I baked once, I prayed some, but I stayed numb. Cause everything that's happened in the motherland, they try to hide with time like a clock at midnight's hour hand. Corruption in the government, the terrible law from tyrants. Indigenous people back home subject to violence. When 45 is lying and they don't believe in science. My community is dying and we still ain't get no guidance. Well, all of y'all focused on Asian representation. I'm yelling brown lives, black lives, liberation. Cause how's it gonna help if they look like you, representing you, but they move like colonizers do? So fuck it if you're likable, I'd rather us cipher what we built to fight the power, bam, light it too.
What we gotta do to make you listen? I mean, what we gotta do to make you listen? I mean, what else we gotta do to make you listen? I mean, what we gotta do to make you listen? What we gotta do to make you listen? I mean, what else we gotta do to make you listen? I mean, what can we do to make you listen? What can we do to make you listen?
Somebody help me, but nah, they don't hear me, so I guess I'll be another victim of the...
Dear Goddess, gives me patience, tired of trying to explain. I've got zero tolerance when they fuck with my sacred space. Bar the trolls, hit the corners for escape. Build the platforms, take up space. Code the scripts and info infiltrate. Cause you're never not fighting a racist system that keeps powers in place and that fails to acknowledge the root of your pain. Took it too personal, over emotional. Where are you from? Are you beauty or brains? Over the top, I'm too little or too much. Damned if I do and I'm damned if I do not. Talking class, race, and the sex intersections. My feelings are valid and I won't dismiss them. I was taught not to trust my own mind and decisions. My body is my body, I won't give them an apology. Indoctrinated habits, like smile, nod your head, I'll talk less, close my legs. What? That's exactly what I just said. Are you serious? If I lose my shit right now, will I just be dismissed right now? If I lose my shit right now, will I just be dismissed right now? Will I just be dismissed? Welcome to the Sad Fam Club, baby, you are enough. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Sad Fam Club, baby, you are enough. Hey, 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 hey. Toxic masculinity is killing all the poetry. Hold my brothers back from free flowing with the sea. Our tears like the holy ink to sink a patriarchy, popping egos like balloons, cause we don't exist for you. Burn your eyes with tiger bombs, don't try to tell her to be calm. Colonial repercussions, any questions? CC the boss, she's the boss. Expert of self, they pray to moon, she raps and spells. I'm attuned to what you're numb to. Check my mood ring, did I ask you? No, I prefer my make-believe to their bullshit. I work within it, but at the end of shift I build spectrums on the internet. I art attack cause I'm an empath. Foundations, Pilipinx, no limits on how I choose to express. With my pixels and my queerness, you can't hold me back. If I lose my shit right now, will I just be dismissed right now? If I lose my shit right now, will I just be dismissed right now? Will I just be dismissed? Welcome to the Sad Fam Club, baby, you are enough. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Sad Fam Club, baby, you are enough. Hey, 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 hey. Ooh. If I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. It's my art, I can rage if I want to, rage if I want to, cry. Welcome to the Sad Fam Club, baby, you are enough. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Sad Fam Club, baby, you are enough. Hey, 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 hey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on our Twitch channel for the 500 years Pilipinx resistance to annihilation. Yes, 500 years ago on April 27th, 1521, Datu Lapu-Lapu killed Magellan in the Battle of Mactan in the Visayas. And since then, in big and small ways, the people of the archipelago have been saying, "Not today, colonizer." We have a talented group of artists from the diaspora and the Philippines presenting their work for you tonight, all to help raise funds for Earth Protector, Indigenous rights activist, SF native Brandon Lee, my good friend, and also the Malaya movement of democracy and human rights in the Philippines. So first, let's hear from the organizers of this effort because we are amplifying their efforts tonight. So let's go to Mel Reyes. Let's play the video.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Mel, and I am with the Justice for Brandon Lee Coalition. We are really excited to be here tonight, and on behalf of the coalition, we'd like to extend our deep gratitude and thanks for making Brandon Lee and land defenders like him the beneficiaries of tonight's event. Last night on Earth Day, we actually launched a fundraiser auction to continue to call attention to what happened to Brandon, the assassination attempt on his life, and continue to raise funds for his ongoing recovery. And we also are raising funds for organizers who have experienced attacks and harassment in indigenous communities in the Cordillera in northern Luzon, where Brandon dedicated the last 10 years of his life until he was shot in 2019. Because of the Cordillera's major river systems, their rich mineral deposits like gold and copper, and their abundance of pine trees, multinational corporations, with the help of the Philippine military, have long encroached on their ancestral lands, occupying and controlling them with destructive mining projects and dams that have destroyed their livelihood and the quality of the land itself. Many of you may be familiar with the Anti-Terrorism Act, or the ATA, which was passed by Duterte last year in 2020, which further exacerbates the destruction and desecration of land and life in the Cordillera, while also severely curtailing the rights of the community members to oppose these projects by any means necessary. I think tonight's event is really fitting, that we're commemorating 500 years of Philippine resistance, because we're seeing that it is continuing and it is ongoing. And just really quickly, I'm here to make a quick pitch to check out our auction. We have some really amazing items that you can bid on until May 9th. When the auction closes, there are paintings and photography that have been donated by some really amazing and prolific artists. There's Warriors gear. If you're a Warriors fan, there's lots of things up there. And there's some really amazing opportunities and workshops that Bindlestiff Studio has actually offered in the auction. So lots of workshops that you can bid on for yourself or your friends or your family members. And lastly, our goal overall is $4,000. Last night we were able to make $1,800, and just wanted to, make a plug that all of these proceeds go directly to Brandon and the land defenders in the Cordillera. So I hope that, tonight you enjoy the show and you can check out the auction items. I believe the links will be put up there. It's on 32 auctions. You can also directly donate to Brandon at the GoFundMe link that will be provided. So thank you, and please enjoy the rest of this great show.
Thank you so much, Tamal. So you just need to check out our chat section. We have our chat mod, the one and only Lo for show, and she'll add all the links in there. And then it's also in our About section on our Twitch page. So before we get started with our show, we want to acknowledge that Bindlestiff Studio is located on unceded Ramaytush Ohlone territory. And I just wanted to read the land acknowledgement from the Ramaytush. We here at Bindlestiff acknowledge that we are on the unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone, who are the original inhabitants of the San Francisco Peninsula. As the indigenous stewards of this land and in accordance with their traditions, the Ramaytush Ohlone have never ceded, lost, nor forgotten their responsibilities as the caretakers of this place, as well as for all peoples who reside in their traditional territory. As guests, we recognize that we benefit from living and working on their traditional homeland. We wish to pay our respects by acknowledging the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Ramaytush community, and by affirming their sovereign rights as First Peoples. And we also wanted to pay tribute to the various tribes from where some of our artists hail from tonight: the Chochenyo Ohlone in Oakland, the Rumsen Ohlone in Salinas, the Tongva in LA, the Kume Yai in San Diego, and the various indigenous tribes in the Philippines, including the Igorot tribes of the north, the Lumad in the south, and the Ayeta in central Luzon, just to name a few. So we'll put resource guides in the chat, learn more about some of these folks we mentioned. We hope that everyone watching tonight considers how they can uplift indigenous peoples around the world and be responsible stewards of land wherever you call home. So now we're going to get started. I'd like to introduce your host for this evening. Joy Regullano is the writer, actor, comedian based in LA and is currently writing freelance for the PBS Kids web series. Writing credits include DreamWorks, Netflix animated show, which is to be determined, maybe 2022, and the Netflix show Healing Powers of Dude, several Sesame Workshop digital shorts, and she was a Sesame Street Writing Fellow. She has performed improv and sketch around LA and at UCB and Second City, Hollywood. Her YouTube sketch White Fetish went viral with 1 million views and has been featured in Huffington Post, Upworthy, and more. You may have seen her guest starring in shows like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, House of Lies, or Supernatural. And tonight, the spirit of Lapu-Lapu, she'll be sticking it to Magellan all night long. So please welcome Joy Regullano.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for coming out tonight. I'm Delogdog, and I'm your host for this evening. Who here is coming out from Mindanao? Heck yeah! Bah, 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 bah. Who here came all the way from Manila? Yeah! Area code, Anim, Tatlo, Dalawa, represent! All right, now show some love for the locals. My peeps from Mactan, Cebu! Yeah! These peeps know where the best Zubuchon is at! I came in from Manila myself, and boy, are my arms tired from rowing, because I rowed all the way here from Manila. Woo! Now, when I was asked to be the host for Ferdinand Magellan's roast, I was so excited. I was like, I cannot wait to roast that guy. Now, some of you might think it's a little unfair to roast someone who's already dead, but not to victim blame here. Maybe if you don't try to colonize people, you won't be killed. Just saying. So yeah, Magellan was Portuguese, more like Portuguese. Why didn't you just stay home? But anyway, the foreigners only have one god. What's up with that? That just seems silly. I mean, are you telling me that the rice god, the river god, the forest god, the mountain god, the ocean god, and the supreme being are all one god? Talk about downsizing. I mean, are they getting paid enough to do all those people's jobs? I mean, one department for all your concerns? That sounds like a recipe for a major prayer backup, if you ask me. Like, Jesus Christ be sitting there. Like, take a number, honey. I mean, if you ask me, I don't want the rice god getting in my ocean shit. Haven't they heard of division of labor? But also, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit sound like three gods to me. You're telling me they're all one? Sounds like they in denial, if you ask me. Speaking of, let me just take 1 second to pray to the comedy god. Dear comedy god, please help me stand at Sideco well today. Thank you. Okay, I'm good. Okay, well, don't even get me started on how the foreigners write down their history. Talk about a hand cramp. I mean, why have a written historical tradition when you can pass down your history with chismis instead? That sounds way more entertaining. Like 100 years ago, your great-great-grandfather cheated on his wife with the indentured servant. Yeah, a lot more interesting than the Battle of blah blah happened during the years of 1430. Who gives a fuck? Oh, and we gotta talk about clothes. I mean, what's up with these foreigners wearing shirts? So many clothes, and they don't even have tattoos. Like, the fuck? Freaking wild. All right, we gotta get the show going, but give it up for yourselves for voting in here from wherever you did, and give it up for Lapu-Lapu for killing that conqueror. Bah, bah, bah.
Don't do that. You're trying to scare your Lola to death? Where's your tatang? Hoy! Tanga! Oh, good. He's on his rounds? Good. Your tatang's a poo-poo butt. I don't have anything for you to eat. That's your nanang's job. Of course, she's probably dead drunk right now. Not that I blame her. Your tatang's poo-poo head. Go ahead, sit down. You tell him I'm not coming home. I am home now. Here, surrounded by these walls, these carvings, messages from our ancestors. Circle, line, line, angle, angle. They're messaging me. Oh, yes. Although, I wish it was a little bit less abstract. I wish they had a more coherent, visual, coded, cluing system for me to understand exactly what they saw and felt and thought about their times. But they made something that lasts. You tell your tatang, I don't need his medicine. I'm fine. It's your Lolo who has the twitch and the bad knees. And you, if you decide you're never going to speak again, that's okay by me. Put that down! How many times do I have to tell you not to play with your Lola's special inchik tools? Those are imported. In your 6 harvests of living, have you not yet learned? Don't cry. Stop crying. Stop. Okay. You want to try? Pick up the brush. Yeah. Hold it gently, as if it's a feather. Although you know, it's powerful as a blade. Oh yes! Now dip it in the black goo. Not too much. And then don't drip it on the paper. Somebody's been watching, Lola. All right, go ahead. All right, you know, the inchiks, they have countless scrolls of their writing, and they're signed by their thinkers. And there's a great, what's called university, built by Mansa Musa in Mali. It's a place where people go to learn and write and read. Their thinkers write down what they see and feel and know about their times, and it's saved for many, many, many harvests to come. Someday you can go there to learn. Maybe. We write. Of course we write. We carve into bamboo everything we see and think and feel and know to be true. But bamboo decomposes. It breaks down. It has always broken down. So my plan, you and I will take our writing on our scrolls, roll them up, and put them in sturdy Ilocano ceramic pots. But first, we'll make sure that our writing is complete with a specific visual code and system so that all those who find them, our writing, will be messaging back with us in a way. We'll bury our scrolls in the pots in the ground, and there they'll be for the future to find. So we'll be messaging them. You'll see. You will see. You know, you never should have seen what you saw. What we all saw, we never should have seen. I'll tell you. When I heard the Castilians lisping their words as they were skewering our babaylons, and the crocodiles were snapping their jaws and crushing the bones, I saw this crescent moon, deep lake, Batala's supernatural Kali stick submerged within, an arm extended offering a community. Oh yes. Later, when your Lolo was chuckling at me and your Tatang followed along, laughing, I saw this lake, Batala's supernatural sword, submerged within, mark denoting emphasis of the first symbol, snake, mark denoting emphasis of the second symbol. Oh yes, and as your Tatang mocked me, this, in my mind, changed to this symbol of motherhood, mark denoting emphasis of the first symbol, snake, mark denoting emphasis of the second symbol, regeneration. Oh yes. And then, when I heard in my head my thoughts thinking I'm leaving, this transformed to this crescent moon, community, deep lake, Batala's supernatural Kali stick submerged deep within. A community with a path leading out, or a path leading into a community. River, house, tree, or two penises seen from Batala's point of view. River, 3 tributaries. Valley, tree, or as previously described. River, 3 tributaries. Mark of a pregnant woman seen by the spirits of the ground. River, possibly flowing in the opposite direction of the previously stated river. This came later. Smaller community with a path leading out or a path leading in. Arrowhead shooting between the tree or the penis seen from Batala's point of view and the motherhood, Mother Earth, birthing forward new life. Oh, yes. You done? Let's see. Whoop. Let's see. Oh, a community. Crocodile. Oh, there's another crocodile. Mean, nasty crocodile. Oh, 2 fishies. Crocodiles have nice fishies to eat. The crocodiles won't have to eat the babaylons. Oh, a volcano erupting. Turn it around. Oh, now this I understand. This I understand completely. I feel this all the time. These days. In our times. Very nice. Excellent. You know what? We're going to carve this on these walls. Yes, we are. And you're going to sign it. Very nice. Excellent. Excellence. Me too. I'm gonna lie down and take a nap now then. Maybe later I'll walk you home. Maybe. Around dinner time. But first, let's rest. We need to rest.
Sediment, sentiment, where do I begin? Her comrade beneath the feet, tides closing in. What distance against them? Under no one wins. Blind to follow as we pick our own shit. Always questioning what the intent. Does every being wish to be enlightened? This grave you've done is overflow. Can you see again? The key to happiness is not based on being monetarily blessed, and the key to success is the ability to accept the true potential of a trillion to the best. Realize what we naturally possess, even under the stress of being oppressed and depressed. Underneath it all, skin but bones, what's left is a spiritual self. We must ingest the truth in addition to presenting it beside one another, not quite content, but above being complacent, whoever of soul. The tangible network don't need to divide, cause our views aren't adjacent. We are all from the cosmos to the dirt which we stand upon. We see the same moon, the same dawn. In place of resist, you could bid us persist, persisting that we be truly family. In the face of adversity, enchanting generosity, unspoken reciprocity, giving that it's a gift that keeps giving, accepting aware, receiving, reliving, cause we're human. Don't pour an instant think patterns, labors are fruitless because the only constant thing is change. Ironic, ironically shifting and stay clear of drifting away, only to fade. Gonna need hella endurance, I gotta ride up the currents, never forgetting to be present. Don't be hesitant to express what you've been, to present within. We all steer ourselves in circles, only to reminisce that the end is the beginning. Spinning on top of, twirling on top of galactic mother chaos of boundless canvas. Prosperity ties into matters of the collective consciousness of the masses. Masses of miniature multiverses, fractally abstracted, must obstruct destructive forces with constructive interference, and recognize this is all in resonance to each other's cadence. The depths to which these wavelengths transcend realities to shape the memory of what to live. As much as we inherently breed toxicity, it's not a calamity, one is its own deity. As much as we inherently breed toxicity, it's not a calamity, common decency, to put it quite simply. Accept the biblically, it's quite alright to disagree naturally. Sentiment has sentiment. Where do I begin? Comrade beneath the feet, tides closing in. What hits us, what gets us? No wonder no one wins. Line to follow as we kick our own shins.
Right. Oh man, I get to follow Boomer and Patty Cachapero, the magnificent Patty Cachapero. Oh, this is great. Hey everybody, I'm Alan Sampson Manalo, and very happy to be here with you today. Somebody earlier told me, hey man, we're going to be celebrating 500 years of resistance, because that's going to be the anniversary of when Lapu-Lapu killed Magellan. Is 500 years of resistance. I got to thinking, 500 years of resistance, man, is that something we should be celebrating, really? I mean, that's like being on a basketball team, right, with a 500 game losing streak or something, you know? I mean, last time we won was when we had Lapu-Lapu on the team, right? You know, he was the power forward. We got it done. But since then, nothing but ball hogs, man. You know, it's like, come on, pass the fucking ball, Duterte. What the hell? Come on, share the stone. Can you blame us, though? I mean, you know, 500 years, we're a very resilient people. We are always going to try very hard to resist. We always are, you know. And I think because of that, you can get hella tired, right? 500 years of resistance. I mean, that probably explains why, you know, you go to Manila and there's always some dude on the side sleeping, standing up or something. You know, you have to ask the Mano, hey Mano, how come everyone is looks sleepy? It's all that resisting, hijo. All that resisting. 500 years of resistance. I guess you can also celebrate 500 years of insulin resistance too, you know. But it doesn't matter, man. We as a people are resilient. We got strong heroes. I was born and raised here, and I got to confess though, when I was a kid, I didn't know who Lapu-Lapu was. I mean, I always thought Lapu-Lapu was a fish. I really did. And then when my cousins from Manila told me, you know, Lapu-Lapu is a national hero who killed Magellan, I thought to myself, a fish? A fish killed Magellan? Is it some kind of Filipino Jaws episode or something? I didn't know what the hell to think about this. But you know, we need our national heroes. We need heroes. We really do. I mean, especially with, you know, what's going on here nowadays. I really wish I knew who Lapu-Lapu was, and I really wish I believed my cousins. I mean, it's hard to believe anything that your relatives tell you sometimes, especially when you're a kid, right? Because they always tell you stuff that's really hard to believe. And I finally, as an adult, I wanted to fact check that. So I would Google things that I was told when I was a kid to find out if it was true, right? Like I Googled, never cut your fingernails at night. And I also Googled, never take a shower on Fridays. Don't sit too close to the television or you'll be duling, right? And the same results came out. It said, yes, these are true. Yes, it's true. Your Lola is an asshole. Okay. This Lola. I'm just joking. It's probably not the best time to do that joke, especially now with what's going on with this fucking anti-Asian violence. Crazy people out there trying to beat up on old Asian people. Can you believe that, man? And that's why I said we need our heroes, man. It would be cool to have a Lapu-Lapu. When I was a kid, it was Bruce Lee. And so when you have these, people don't mess with you, right? I didn't even have to know martial arts, man. All I had to do is just pretend that I knew it, right? We need those kind of heroes. And I figured, actually, we do. We have that hero. I don't know if you ever saw the video of the old Chinese woman on Market Street here in San Francisco beating up this dude. Punched her. This dude punched her in the face, and she took a stick and beat the hell out of him. They had to take him away in a stretcher. That is one badass woman. That's an original granny cart gangster right there. And you know what happened? Right after that, her grandson set up a GoFundMe page to raise funds for her medical bills. He only needed $50,000. She ended up raising almost $1 million, over $900,000. This woman raised, this feisty old Chinese woman. I told my Lola that, and my Lola looked at me and said, punch me in the face, now. Where's your video camera? And then she kicked me in the nuts for calling her an asshole. Well, you know, I think this madness is just part of what we're living in now, you know. And you just got to remember and be very proud of who you are. Be proud of your identity. You know, I told my nephew, this Gen Zer, I told him, you know, you should always be proud to be Filipino. And he looked at me and said, Uncle, it's actually Pilipinx. You need to get woke. I was like, what? Woke? I go, I'm almost 58 years old, man. How can I get woke when I'm closer to getting stroke? I mean, really? What do you mean woke? And he said, no, Uncle, woke is this term. I had to write it down because he's always trying to think he's smarter than me. He goes, the term woke is a self-awareness that questions the dominant paradigm and strives for something better. And so I had to come back with my Gen X wisdom, and I looked at him, I said, bitch said paradigm. And then he looked at me and said, Uncle, we don't use the B word anymore, right? That's a trigger word. And of course I had to come back and said, trigger, please. Trigger, please. But, you know, times are changing, like I said. He wants the X in there. I said, why does it get an X? Why not a Y? You know, we could be referred to as Filipini. I think it sounds kind of cool, you know? But really, if you think about it, if you really want to be woke, right? This term woke, you wouldn't even call yourself a Filipino anymore. Filipinx, whatever. Any form of Philippines, right, is really named after the colonizer, right? King Philip. See? So if you're really woke, would you really want to call and name yourself after a colonizer? It'd be like naming yourself after some white dude named Trevor or something. Then we'd be known as Trevor Pinos or something, or Trevorites. Just think about it. Think about it, nephew. Think about it, man. All right. Well, anyways, happy Lapu-Lapu Day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the show. It's a great show. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Hi, I'm Leo Aquino. I use they or he pronouns. I'm a poet, and I'm so excited to share my work with you. This first poem is called Babaylan. I was buried in goop. Under digital landfills, pixels in every orifice covered me in concrete. I scooped Gwyneth Paltrow's eyeballs, sport them around my neck, #vintage. My first orgasm shifted tectonic plates. With the power of 4,000 Beyoncés, I sprout from slivers of asphalt. Lick the light, my old friend, with many green tongues. White Jesus fed me to the crocodiles. I sharpened crocodile ribs into golden shivs, breaststroke through reptile flesh to become Pangasinan again. Too many syllables welled in white Jesus' throat. I am the favorite child of destiny, descendant of dancing constellations. I have too much gender for 3,000 lifetimes. I grind flowers between my fingertips and let forgiveness pierce me with dandelion teeth. Fluid, I dance in strong winds, crown myself feminine, but demand that you call me daddy. I petal, 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 petal. I pollen, 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 pollen. I rise from the cracks of the earth, soft Brooklyn concrete, white Jesus waves his flag and surrenders. My pleasure is too pure and too hot for him to keep existing. I body myself pansexual, Ellis Island my legs. The root of the mango tree asks for my consent every time she enters me. #wokebae. They buried me in digital concrete. Hot crocodile blood in my lungs. I never die. I am heaven. This second poem is called Awang, King of the Ocean. The story of this poem is based on Enrique de Malacca, or Henry the Black, who was a Filipinx slave on Magellan's ship. And even though Ferdinand Magellan is often credited as the first person to circumnavigate the world, it is likely that Enrique de Malacca is actually the first person to do that. And in different Malay versions of the story, he is named Awang. So yeah, this poem is called Awang, King of the Ocean. I pull a boat of ungrateful putas onto the shore by the moonlight of glittering ocean. I catch fish with my bare hands in the dark, climb palm trees to deliver the coconuts, gather crispy palm fronds to start a fire, all the while these lazy Spaniards rest. Colonizing is hard work, these putas say. I spit fish bones in the sand after swallowing the charred meat. I watch these sunburnt, Casper-looking motherfuckers choke on their own sharp karma. I sink my teeth into coconut meat. Its sweetness carries me home into my husband's arms, his smile etched on the underbelly of the moon. He swirls my name in his mouth, Awang. Sweet coconut hymns of motherlands and holy seas, land of the rising sun. Drunk on ocean and moonlight, I sprinkle my soul on these waters. In centuries, my great-great-grandsons harvest salt in Pangasinan, sprinkle me on their charred fish, spit the bones on our mother sand, Sison, Pangasinan, the land of the salt makers. My great-great-grandsons sing my name in the wind to meet my husband's coconut moon hymns. Awang, King of the Ocean. Thank you.
I don't know if I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams. Maybe we underestimate how wild their dreams were. Maybe my ancestors were dreaming up some crazy shit. Like the Banawe rice terraces. They're looking at me like. And, what do you make? Art? Like singing and dancing? Like your Tito boy here? Tito boy sleeps next to the pigs. Is that like you? Huh? Making art. You know, I don't make. I build. Nax. Like this? You know this, huh? Banawe. I build that. Talagang eighth wonder. I build that. What do you build? What? Community? What the? You know what builds community? Rice. Growing up the fucking mountain. That's what builds community. Food. Tangin na food. Anak, why are you not an engineer? You come from a long line of engineers. Sayang. Yeah. I don't know if I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams.
What's up, everyone? Man, G Money, the guy could dance. You're going to see him do his comedy thing later on. Thank you for being here. I'm coming to you live from Daly City. Live, not recorded. Warriors are up, second quarter. Thanks for watching the show, though. Yeah, 500 years. So 5 years ago, I went to Cebu, and on the flight over there, you know, I saw a bunch of islands, and all these islands got me thinking, what is it about bodies of water that make you want to throw things in them, right? When you go to a lake, you skip rocks. When you go to a fountain, you toss in coins and you make a wish. And when you go to the beach and your name is Lapu-Lapu, you just throw in Magellan's dead body into the ocean, right? Along with all his hopes and dreams of forcing his religion upon the natives. During the Battle of Mactan, Magellan and his men were covered from head to knee in armor, just to the knee. They might have ran out of supplies. So Lapu-Lapu and his men attacked them where it was exposed, right, at their legs and their ankles. Now, when the Spaniards saw this, they started to do the same thing and attack Lapu-Lapu and his men at their ankles. But the warriors that died, they were the ones that sucked at tinikling. But the good tinikling dancers, they were able to dodge the Spaniards' spears and swords with their fancy footwork, right? And years later, their ancestors became what we know today as the Jabberwockies. Yeah, these are facts. You know, I know what I'm talking about. I almost got a minor in Asian American Studies from SF State. Instead, I did a PACE internship. You don't know how many jobs I almost got when they saw PACE internship at the bottom of my resume. But more facts. A lot of people think that the Japanese created karaoke. It's false. Filipinos invented it. Yeah, it was named after the Caracoa, which is a 17th century outrigger warship from the Philippines, right? And on this ship, they had rowers on either side. And the way that the rowers stayed in sync with each other was by, that's right, singing. Now you would think that they would sing like high energy songs, right? Loud songs to get them amped up, ready for war, to row faster, right? Nah. You know, Filipinos love to sing slow jams. So they're probably back there rowing, singing to the 17th century version of Frank Sinatra's My Way, which made them always late to the battle, right? And thus was born Filipino time. Yeah, I bet you didn't know karaoke, Filipino time, invented at the same moment. Yeah, facts. Almost got a minor. But on this ship, you know, the rowers, they were grouped and separated into rooms on the Caracoa while they were rowing. And in these rooms, they often provided, that's right, bottles of Hennessy. Yeah, and women would come into these rooms sometimes, sit down and sing with them while they were rowing. Allegedly. I don't know. I wasn't there, right? I can neither confirm nor deny what happened in a Caracoa room in the Philippines. We don't talk about that, right? Row code. Let's see. Do you guys remember those Filipino strength shirts from back in the day? Yeah, with Lapu-Lapu on the back, looking all buff, flexing his biceps, his triceps, all the other steps he had on his body. Yeah, well, before then, Jesus was always depicted as, you know, looking normal, like your everyday man of the people type, right? But when Magellan and his men came to the Philippines, saw Magellan, they were like, that's what Jesus needs to look like. You know, people always talk about they want to have abs like Jesus. Well, 500 years ago was the beginning of when Jesus was depicted having abs like Lapu-Lapu. Yep. And at that same time, the first Catholic Mass was happening in the Philippines. And even then, moms were like, "Hoy, change your bahag. Go upstairs, put on the good bahag that your ninang bought you." But ma, that bahag makes me itchy. Bata ito, change into your good bahag. Tangina, you're going to see your ninang at church. You can't go to church in your pantulog bahag. Yeah. And also, at that first Mass in the Philippines, they ran out of wine, right? It was a long voyage to get there. They were drinking wine on the ship, so they didn't have any wine. So for the blood of Christ, they had to use what the locals had, which was Red Horse. All right, y'all. That's my time. Warriors are up 5. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Wow. Give it up one more time for all the performers. Truly inspiring, truly amazing. So grateful to be a part of this evening. I mean, I imagine you're all having a great day. You're here with us. But also, if you're feeling down about your life, just look at that lechon over there. That pig is having a bad day. Thank goodness I'm not that guy. All right? That should give you some perspective. Your life is not that bad. And also, thank goodness you're not a Magellan. Imagine almost making it completely around the world for the first time in history, and you get killed on some island on the way. Fucking sucks, bro. Sorry about it. But anyway, let's keep it going for the next deck. Woo!
white men cannot exist on, the Filipinos would take the job, and through the clannish, low standard of housing and feeding practiced among them, will soon be clothed and strutting about like a peacock, and endeavoring to attract the eyes of the young American and Mexican girls.
As I understood it and concluded from the different sources that I looked at a festival, at a carnival in Exeter on October 24th, 1929, there was, in a public space where there were Filipinos there, they were being harassed. The Filipinos were largely by white men who were there. Rubber bands were being shot at them, words were said, they were being crowded off sidewalks and public thoroughfares.
Essentially, it's Filipinos in the company of white women, harvest time, right, October of 29, when the usual racist catcalls were made towards Filipinos and the white women who were in their company. And one version blames a white truck driver for teasing a Filipino man who responded violently to the insult. Another version has locals getting incensed over the attention that Filipinos were giving white girls. An unidentified Filipino felt that his honor had been injured, and he attacked Adolf Borgman and Harry Latham with a knife. Although the wounds were minor, the two appeared more seriously injured at the time of the incident. In other words, there's a lot of blood. That would definitely be the result of someone who knew how to use a knife. If a Filipino is at all familiar with using a knife, they probably use techniques that are very familiar to stick fighters, people who practice eskrima or kali or arnis de mano, whatever you want to call it. It's a traditional martial art of the Filipinos. It involves multiple strikes and slashes. So that got played up, and immediately there's a reaction of men going after the Filipinos and the women that were with them. A mob of more than 300 men quickly formed, pursued the Filipino attacker to the E.J. Fireball Ranch, set fire to the barn where the Filipino workers were living. Innocent Filipinos were attacked and forced to flee to Visalia, Tulare, and Fresno for safety. And the most notable of the racist validation came from the bench. And by that I mean from the judicial bench. And the most famous quotes came from Judge Rohrbach. He said that although he did not advocate violence, he felt that the United States should give the Filipinos their liberty and send them home so that white people who inherited this country could live in peace. Now, that sounds ironically current, does it not? We have had crowds who support the current president chanting, "Send her back." Okay. We have had people talk about immigrants as though they don't belong. There are elements of the news media that today are just short, making statements just short of saying that this society was and intended to be and should remain a white majority, white supremacy society.
Minus 35 degrees on average for a third of the sun's cycle. And it will only take 2 to 4 winters before her blood thickens on salmon, and one single pitch dark night that lasts 3 months long. How many bowls of sinigang is that? And how even sinigang? A satchel of crystals ensconced in a coveted packet by Ate Sita. Amazing! Still lose so much. Perhaps This is a very sad song. Well, what does that do to the ox? The intrinsic value of a soul versus the laws of life still leaves us with a solid 50-50 chance. No one is entitled to life, no matter what they've chosen to believe. There are so many ways of dying, and so many forms of death. Across the expanse of land between the wave shapes of her eyes, may she grow a grand fire. May the smoke build a halo through which she will know see if she learns to hear the hunting howl for home, past the broken houses, past the violent trappings of the hollow-eyed dying, past the conquesting of her silver-lined shapes, her dropped head, her held breath as their poison cloud makes its way to the spirit, to the heart, and then to the crown. Is it too much, the land, the language, the lineage, all lost? May her bones drum the earth where she stands, heating the blood to brown the skin, and jet the black river, water falling from crown to waist, her armor against the blank canvas of snow. May her bones build a drum of the earth wherever and whenever she stands. May her skin brown as her blood runs with the water, racing towards the ocean, racing towards the whole world. May her jet black stand stark against the whiteness, from crown to waist, from crown to waist. Her jet river waterfall, her sister the wind will find her this way. Yes, she will need entire generations of storms. We will collect sorrow, but is it too much sorrow? Too much blood spilled, split, stolen, wandering, lost? A love affair with anti-history? If you take the Filipino out of the islands, what is she? A Filipino in the world. If you take the Filipino out of history, when is she? She is a human, timeless, bound only to her pronouncement of living on earth. We are entitled to none of this. Land, food, language, light, love, community. They must be cultivated and cured, cared for, accredited, celebrated, held in gratitude. We will take for granted what has always come so easily. We will lose it all and so much more. And then, when are we? The rank world of civilizations will test sanctuary. Oof, patriarchy. Religion. OMG, student debt. LOL, QAnon, war on drugs, FTP, PPE.org, STD, PTSD, PST4, 5. How many dimensional worlds will we open before we heal the one we come from? She will need a grand palace somehow. A grand palace to grow the spirit from scratch without her tongue or tools, her Tagalog, her father's barefoot silt will cement, her mother's mango tree, a sentimental imagining of a memory, no lineage, no royalty. Where can then this palace grow? Maybe she will marry the largest mountain she can find. Maybe he'll build her a symphony of clouds as he arches past the bristled tree line of his spine to the pure rock, the thin air, the pinnacle, the pronouncement of becoming. With this, I will make the moon her mother, to teach her how light changes shape as we move, and that time is for creating. May she grow a grand fire. May she grow a grand fire across the expanse of land between the wave shapes of her eyes. May the halo of smoke rise so she may know see the mountain palace of storm, where she may generate all nerve, all bone, her answer to Earth's question, do you live? May the volcano of her history erupt on the katang of her diaspora. May the lava cool and become land beckoning her home, howling. There are so many forms of death and many ways of dying, but life looks so many ways too. Has she forgotten too much, or has she not forgotten enough? Is that the bet then? Well, what are you willing to wager?
Okay. Let's give it up for Bindlestiff for putting this together tonight. So I hadn't heard about Lapu-Lapu Day, And I decided to go straight to the source for everything Filipino, my mom. I asked her to tell me all she knew about it. She said, "What's that? Sounds like a bullshit holiday." Lapu-Lapu Day could be so awesome. All it needs is a little rebranding. I'm thinking something like St. Patty's Day, but with the Filipino twist. We could show our pride by wearing, instead of green, festive island wear. And if anyone gets caught wearing a barong on that day, the granny card gangstas will be standing by to kurutin you with their toes. We would definitely be giving special recognition to the brave ones wearing a bahag on this day of days. They will automatically be entered in the sexy, sexy Lapu-Lapu contest held in beautiful Dolores Park. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the day. Introducing first, hailing from Union City, California, he has been working out at Crunch Gym 3 days a week, and he is showing some definition. Let's hear it for Ray Reyes. Going up against Ray is our next contestant, representing Hercules, attending his 8th year at Cal State East Bay. He is ripped and ready. Boy Garcia. And last, but not least, straight from the Excelsior via Daly City, California, he's had a dad bod since the 3rd grade. Walgreens pharmacist by day, karaoke DJ by night. He has the word abs written in black Sharpie on his soft, supple, hairless belly. It's Ephraim McDidey! Because of the legit nature of this pageant, all of today's contestants will be judged 0% on their talent and personality and 100% on their looks in the following categories: sexiness and poise in their bahag, which they will be required to wear for the entirety of this pageant, sportswear modeling, and evening wear. Thank you to our generous sponsors at Dick's Sporting Goods. Dick's, for all your Mother's Day's needs. We'll begin with the sportswear competition. Contestant number 1, Ray Reyes, is making his way on stage in his bahag, wearing some very sexy sunglasses. Are those Ray-Ban Frank titaniums? I see he's left the tag on those glasses, so I guess he'll be returning them to the store tomorrow, right? Contestant number 2, Boy Garcia, is looking authentic in a pair of leather flip-flops. Okay, does he need help? It appears a random Lola just jumped the stage. Lola, hey, we are not pinching those cheeks. Here comes contestant number 3 to the stage now. Ephraim McDidey. He's holding a tennis racket. Okay, he is serving and lobbing invisible balls into the crowd. The crowd is going wild. But wait, one of the judges is signaling there seems to be a problem. It appears that contestant number 1 has been disqualified due to visible underwear peeking out from his bahag. Oh no, such a shame. Everyone knows you're supposed to wear a G-string with a bahag. It's a surprise the offensive underwear stayed tucked away for so long. But rules are rules. Oh well, Ray. We wish you good luck in your future endeavors. Down to 2 contestants, Boy Garcia and Ephraim McDidey. The judges are antsy and declare they are ready to crown their chief, sexy Lapu-Lapu. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. envelope, please. Ephraim, it looks like you are our first runner-up. We hope you had a good time competing. As a consolation prize, you win a box of dried mangoes and a high-quality DVD of Colma, the musical. That means this year's Sexy Lapu-Lapu is Boy Garcia. The Lolas present him with a replica of Lapu-Lapu's sword and a lifetime supply of Datu Puti. Ito ang champion! That's my time, everybody. Happy Lapu-Lapu Day.
Something is wrong in the world. Something is wrong. An empire has overtaken the lands of sovereign people, run by men who take without permission. For 1,000 years, they have bled this earth for their riches and their power. Our lives are nothing. What of the world that once sang for no man, but simply to find out what it could be? Now, even dead things answer to their beck and call. Let us strike the first blow that makes Perdite crumble. The kingdom of these reaving men must fall. Here is where we turn them back. Let our stand on this one last piece of sovereign earth be the beginning of a new age, an age where even kings cannot take without asking, and no man or woman may wield the world's pulse without its consent. I am the word of this land, your home, but you must now be the voice for this vast yet teeming world. Speak for it tonight with your mettle and your courage. Be the voice that says at last to these Corsaires, enough! You cannot have without asking. You cannot take without permission. I am finished living in a world that is ruled by them. I am no longer content just to live free. A world unbound is what I choose to fight for now. If I should die tonight, then so be it. But if I should live, if you, my sisters and brothers, should live, then let the Corsaires beware, for I will not wait for them to come to me again.
Nothing on us. By the glory of God and the Spanish royal family, I hereby claim this land, Philippines, after King Philip of Spain, and let it be known from the Pacific to the Atlantic, east to west, that I, Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, the great world navigator, will now rule over this land with its vast islands and lush fauna for the Spanish Empire.
What's this white boy talking about, though?
Excuse you. Yes. If you haven't noticed, we happen to be living here.
Oh, that's right. Well, yes, I did make that observation. You young, beautiful natives. Hello there.
Oh, coming out with nasty ass germs and shit, you fucking nasty.
Bearing diseases and shit.
I come in peace, ladies.
That's what Magellan said, and the next thing you know, there was an all-out war, and next thing you know, our boy Lapu-Lapu had to kill him in battle.
So you don't want to end up like your boy Magellan?
You better leave.
Well, you know what I need from you, young natives? It's just a little bit of cooperation.
No, we are not stupid. We can see right through you. I know what you're about.
And we have a complex society, and we're doing just fine.
So, why don't you just take your little boat and sail back to where you came from, okay?
Like, yeah.
that, but why should I listen to you? See, you are.
Are you hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth? We don't want you ruining our way of life and raping or pillaging our resources.
So boy, just go, okay? Or we're gonna make you leave. Well, where are the men? Oh, God.
Excuse you, this is a matriarchal society. We are the rulers of this land.
We run this town, all right? We own the land. We are the healers, the weavers, the men are our equals.
You women, woo, that is going to have to change.
Let me catch my breath here.
This boy be crazy though, right? What is that? What's no money?
I don't get it.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. You're right. You know, before I can take over this land, I must accept its people. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, let the Lord bless these unholy women.
Unholy?
Jesus Christ, Jesus.
Oh my God.
You better watch out for America.
You bring America. Make it the thing.
Check. Hello, San Francisco. I'm Mariah.
I'm Mariano.
And today we're going to sing a very lovely song called
Magellan.
by Yoyo Villame, which talks about the history of the Philippines, or at least an interesting part of it.
Yes.
And we think Yoyo should be a national artist. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
On March 16, 1521,
When Philippines was discovered by Magellan,
they're sailing day and night across the big ocean until they saw a small Masawa Island. Magellan landed in Masawa at noon.
the people met him very welcome on the shore.
They did not understand the speaking they have done,
Because Castilla gidot waray man.
when Magellan landed in Cebu City.
Raha humapon met him there.
Very happy.
Very happy.
All people were baptized and built the Church of Christ, and that's the beginning of our Catholic life. When Magellan visited in Mactan,
To Christianize them everyone.
but Lapu-Lapu met him on the shore.
And drag Magellan to go back home.
Then Magellan got so mad, ordered his men to come up lunch. Mactan Island we could not grab.
Cause Lapu-Lapu is very hard.
Then the battle began at dawn.
Bolos and spears versus guns and cannons.
When Magellan was hit on his neck, stumbled down and cried and cried.
Mother, I am sick. Call the doctor very quick.
Doctor, shall I die? Please tell my mama,
Do not cry.
please tell my mama,
Do not cry.
please tell my mama, do not cry.
This is the story of the Philippines by Yoyo Villame. Ladies and gentlemen, and
Stay safe and eat veggies and take care always.
And remember, Yoye Villame is the greatest artist in the Philippines.
Yo, what's up? Give it up. Give it up for Bindlestiff in this show. 500 years. 500 years, fam. Damn. Let's get into it. Shout out to the freedom fighters. Shout out to the freedom fighters like Brandon Lee and Lapu-Lapu. One love. One love. I know this day is supposed to be about celebrating Lapu-Lapu, but let's talk about those motherfuckers who sided with Magellan. Fucking King Raja Humabon and fucking Datu Zula. You know what I'm saying? Humabon. These motherfuckers conspired to kill Lapu. This is like Biggie Smalls and Suge Knight getting together to fucking put a hit out on Tupac. You know what I'm saying? And then the hitman that they sent to go kill Pac was Michael Rappaport. You know what I'm saying? Michael Rappaport as fucking Magellan trying to take out fucking Pac. That's what the fuck happened here. You know what I'm saying? That Humabon was a fucking snake. Everybody that fucking made it back after Magellan died, everybody that retreated made it back to the boat, fucking Humabon threw a feast and poisoned all them Spanish motherfuckers. So they got what they fucking got. Fuck them motherfuckers. Datu Zula, he was one of the first motherfuckers that fucking gave tribute to fucking Magellan when he got there. He was fucking mad that fucking Raja Humabon gave Lapu-Lapu half of Opong. He was like, what? Lapu-Lapu was like, yeah, I need some land, Raja. They were homies and shit. Like Pac and Big. Fucking Raja Humabon and fucking Lapu-Lapu. They were fucking homies. And they ended up turning into enemies. Just like fucking Pac and Big. But anyway, Lapu-Lapu was like, Raja, I need some land for my people. We will farm the land for you. Give us some land. He was like, all right, you can have half of Opong. Dr. Zula's like, what the fuck? Like half of that's my what the fuck I was supposed to do? Hey, just chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck out, Dr. Zula. You ain't do shit anyway. Chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So also, let's talk about those motherfuckers that converted to Christianity under Magellan. You know what I'm saying? 2,200 natives converted to Christianity before they got to Lapu-Lapu. I think my family's from that 2,200. I'm serious. I'm Catholic. I'm Catholic as fuck. So I'm on that side that was over there. Like, hey man, you hear Lapu-Lapu rejected Christianity? Oh, you can do that? So that was my family back there in that war, in the Visayans and then fucking Cebu. You know what I'm saying? They were the ones, you know, being Catholic today. Man, fuck Magellan. Fuck Magellan for making me a fucking Catholic today. Fucking Catholic guilt? Fuck Catholic guilt. How many fucking... I know there's a bunch of non-Catholics out there, right? Bunch of non-Catholics. Y'all, this is a question for the non-Catholics. Do you ever masturbate and pray for forgiveness at the same time? I do. I'm Catholic. You have to, because God's always watching. Jesus always watching. Guilty as fuck while you looking at some nurse porn and shit. Jesus looking over your shoulder. I'm such a sinner. I'm sorry, Lord, forgive me. Sorry, that was terrible. I'm sorry. Kids out there, I'm sorry about that. I should have given a fucking trigger warning. My bad. Yo, all right, Magellan. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about Magellan. Magellan was like Elon Musk. He was like Elon Musk before Elon Musk was Elon Musk. They both are egotistical, evil genius level explorers. They both experienced mutiny. Ferdinand Magellan in the 1500s in winter, they fucking 3 of his ship captains threw a mutiny. He almost fucking lost them boats. Elon Musk experienced mutiny at the Tesla factory last year, trying to open up that shit too early during COVID. Them motherfuckers want to have his head. Fuck that motherfucker. And they also, the last thing that Magellan and Elon Musk have in common is they were both on Joe Rogan's podcast smoking weed, much to the dismay of their investors. You know what I'm saying? Joe Rogan podcast been around a long time, people. I don't know if y'all know that. Joe Rogan, fucking 700 years old. That's what you get when you work out, smoke weed and shit, do MMA. You're gonna live a long time. Now let's talk about our hero, Lapu-Lapu. Lapu-Lapu. Lapu-Lapu was the first gangster. He was gangster before anybody. This motherfucker Lapu-Lapu was like ODB from the Wu-Tang Clan. He had hella names. Si Lapu-Lapu, Lapu-Lapu Demantang, Kali Pulaco, Lupe Fiasco, Kali Greenbud. Motherfucking, my favorite name of his was the Opong Dong. Because, you know, them Vasaians practice penile piercing and shit. So he was the Opong Dong. You know what I'm saying? Let me see how my time is, yo. Let me see how my time is. How we looking on time? How we looking on time? Anybody give me a clock? No? We good? All right, let me just do this last piece about Lapu-Lapu. Lapu-Lapu was like Tupac. So much in common with Tupac. Built himself up. Came from nowhere to make himself a king. Befriended another king who then they later became enemies. They both got tattoos all over their bodies. Tupac had Thug Life tattooed on his body. Lapu-Lapu had Thug Life tattooed. Thug Life, because he liked tugboats. You know what I'm saying? All them fucking boats. In the Cebu Harbor, he was jacking as a fucking pirate. Thug Life. Tupac had a cross on his back. Lapu-Lapu had a crossbow on his back. You know what I'm saying? You're like, fuck that shit. Pac's parents were in the Black Panther Party. Lapu-Lapu's parents were actual Black Panthers. That's right. Fucking claws, everything. All right, Lapu-Lapu was like Pac because he also had a song that he made after he killed Magellan. It was called Hit 'Em Up. It goes like this. Grab your musket when you see Lapu. My poison arrows I will shoot at you. All right, y'all, that's my time. Lapu-Lapu, 500 years, one love. I love y'all.
Yo, man, this show is off the hook. It's like a freaking, that feeling when you flick your yo-yo and you kill the wild boar on your first try, you know? Or that feeling when you throw a spear at your fiance's staircase when you propose marriage to her and she says, heck yeah, I love you. Shut up. Mwah. But anyway, let's keep it going for the last part of the show. Woo!
This song's called The Executioner. Pangatlong kanta po namin, galing to sa lalabas naming album sa full length namin. Title po nito, Dead Bodies. Yeah. Yo, check! Dead bodies on the concrete, under the blood and the bin. Grenade under the song to fuck, don't even bother. You might be next to his brother. Last thing happened on the chosen one. The name that you brought out just for fun.
have to leave. Leave so you can grow, to trying for your sanity. Stay on track, hold your own, don't look back, 'cause it won't matter, oh, if you do turn to stone. Don't look back, 'cause we won't shatter. And when you're on the road, remember what I want and needs. A difference far too few do know, so difficult and hard to please. Stay on track, hold your own, don't look back, 'cause it won't matter, oh, if you do turn to stone. Don't look back, 'cause we won't shatter. We're left with what we hold, and when we leave, we'll take nothing. Marking moons till we grow old, to keep up with society. Stay on track, hold your own, don't look back, 'cause it won't matter, oh, if you do turn to stone. Don't look back, 'cause we won't shatter.
All right. Hey, everyone. All right, man, I really want to be a musician. Yo, give it up to all the performers this evening. Woo. All right, my name is Ollie Dub, and I just want to acknowledge, before I start my comedy set, that I am on a lonely land. I'm on a lonely land right now. I'm broadcasting live from a lonely land, and I don't know what to do with that information, to be honest. It makes me feel guilty. It makes me feel really guilty. Right? Oh, and don't get me wrong. Like it's important that we acknowledge the land that we're on. But like I work in education and social justice, and we acknowledge a lot. But after a while, it just feels like we're bragging at some point. You know, like this was a lonely land. Now it's a Shake Shack. Like what? Like, and that's kind of fucked up. I mean, like, because the term Shake Shack, it's like what the Spanish did to kick out the natives. Because I don't know. I don't know what to do with that information. Like, I just feel like at the start of every meeting, like, you can't just casually bring up the fact that we're on a lonely land, right? Because you're just casually bringing up the fact that we've committed one of the worst genocides in modern human history. People don't realize, like, the California genocide was basically the ethnic cleansing of children, families, languages, cultures, entire ethnic groups just wiped out. And then you expect me to have a meeting about Secret Santa for the holiday party? I'm like, it's hard to think that a $20 gift limit is the hardest struggle for our families right now. Like, I don't feel so festive right now. I think I'm upset because, like, what can we do? Like, I want to see real action. Like, do we give the land back? Like, we all benefit from colonialism right now. Like, what do we do? Is there a land that we just don't need? Like, that we can give back to Native Americans? Like, a land that we just have no use for at all? Okay, I know everyone's thinking it. I'm just going to say it out loud. Antioch, okay? Antioch, California. Can we give it back? I think we can give it back, okay? I think it's time to give Antioch back to the Native Americans, okay? And it's good too. I mean, because if you put Native Americans up there, you're going to see a lot of Filipino aunties and uncles after church take the BART up to Antioch. On Sundays, they're going to be packing those BART trains. Forget Cashier Creek, forget River Rock, and especially now, we need Asians to travel together. So I think it's a win-win. I think it's a win-win situation. Yeah. And today, I guess we are celebrating, I don't know, like probably the worst map quest experience of all time. And I thought driving a Tahoe was frustrating. My God. And just to give a recap, right? So Magellan, your boy Magellan, he's out here. He lands in the Philippines. Meets his king Humaban. I'm gonna just say Humaban, right? King Humaban is a little simp, converts to Catholicism, right? Changes his name from King Humaban to Carlos. Like, what? Like, you could have changed your name to anything, but Carlos? Fucking Carlos? I went to high school with like 10 of those. Anyway, so my man Carlos, right? He tells everyone, yo, convert to Catholicism. Lapu-Lapu's like, nah, I ain't about that life. Magellan's like, yo, I'm a flex. Watch how the Spanish do. Goes up, tries to land on Lapu-Lapu's island. Lapu-Lapu's like, yo, whose man's is this? Come claim. Come claim. Yo, bodies, Magellan. Yo, Spanish go back to Cebu. All right. My man Carlos is freaking out, regrets changing to his dumbass name. All right. Poisons the Spanish at a dinner party. Yo, half of the Spanish drop. The rest get back on a ship, goes back to Spain. Man, Carlos and Lapu-Lapu become friends again. And the only reason we know all of this is because some dude named Antonio wrote down a diary. I'm not going to lie, that diary must be lit, though. Like, day 87, my feelings for Magellan grow stronger. Man, but that's crazy, right? It's better than a Game of Thrones series finale. That's so dope, man. I'm impressed by the people that were able to get on the ship and get back to Spain. Like, they were saying, we're not going to stop at any more brown people country. You know, forget Indonesia, forget Africa. Let's just go back to Spain. And they had to do all that without a captain. Those are the people I want on my group projects. Man, it is crazy. And I mean, today, 500 years later, it's crazy how, like, in the Philippines, we look up to both Magellan and Lapu-Lapu. Like, my family's from the Visayas. Right, if you go to Cebu, you can see Magellan Cross. You know, you can sing songs about Magellan. But at the same time, you have Lapu-Lapu City, and then you can sing songs about him too. Like, no other event in history, we do that. Like, you can't have the World Trade Center Memorial, and at the same time in Queens have a Bin Laden Boulevard. You know Bin Laden Boulevard? Home of the rap group, A Tribe Called Queta? You know that? You know those songs? Back in the days, boulevards have been Laden. We used to hijack all the planes we'd be flying. Now, you know that song? No, you don't, because it doesn't exist. That don't make sense. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. But we out here. I don't know, is this a celebration? 500 years? What are we celebrating? Not having sex before marriage, I guess? That's probably the worst part of colonialism, to be honest. But I guess I just want to end my set with a shout out. I guess we're shouting people out. So shout out to Magellan, my boy FMG. Just want to say rest in peace, bro, man. We love you. We miss you. Should have landed in Boracay, man. You could have had more fun in the Philippines. All right, my name is Ollie Dub. Thank you. That's my time.
Saan ka nang galing?
Can you not do that?
Ano? Anong huwag kong gawin?
The whole inhabiting my inanimate objects and stuff, it's a little weird.
Dapat sanay ka na sa ganitong pakiramdam.
This is not normal. Me talking to a toy cat is not normal.
Ay sus! Sagutin mo ako. Saan ka nang galing?
You know, just getting a drink.
Ngayon? Kinakailangan ba talaga?
First of all, boba is always important. Second of all, you just don't like it because you think it's too much.
Ang matamis na inuming iyan ay galing kay Satanas.
And besides, it's my comfort food.
Alam mo, noong edad ko ikaw,
Oh, great. Here we go again.
dinala ng Espanyol si Jesus at ang pagiging Kristiyano dito. Sigurado ako na parang isang yugto ng panahon ang pagdating nila at mawawala rin. Pero nagtagal sila at ikinalat ang pagiging Kristiyano dahil sila ay mapilit at malupit. Itinuro nila sa mga tao ang Biblia at nagbasa sila sa atin na parang mga bata na kailangang iligtas. Tinuruan nila ang mga taong sumamba na takot sa ngalan ng kanilang Panginoon sa pagkukunwaring ito ay kaligtasan. Ang babaylans ay hinanting na parang sport at ginawang ehemplo sa krus na kanyang pinasan. Ipinako na walang dignidad. Sinunog na para sa ating mga kasalanan. Nakita kong lahat ito. Maraming namatay, pero alam kong tayo ay makakabangon, makakaangkop. Tayo ay nabuhay. Ang Pilipino ay matatag.
I get it, okay? You lived through the freaking Middle Ages and stupid witch hunts, and I'm over here crying over nothing, being sad over nothing, in the middle of nowhere. Because I am nothing. I'm not you. I can't fix the present. There's a pandemic, and anti-Asian hate crimes are up 150%, and there's a shooting in a grocery store every other week. I'm just one kid. I can't do anything.
Oh, anak. Walang may gusto na ako ay ikaw. Ayokong gawin mo ang pagkakamaling nagawa ko. Isa kang parte ng magandang komunidad. Isa ka sa maraming magaling, matalinong anak dahil ikaw ay nabubuhay. Ikaw ay umuunlad ng higit sa aming kakayanan at nabubuhay sa isang oras ng kaguluhan. Ayos ka lang, anak. Hindi ka nag-iisa. Hindi namin inaasam na ikaw ay maging isang bayani. Ako ay naririto para tumulong at upang gabayan ka. Nang dumating ang mga kolonisador, akala nila ay dodominahan nila ang mga mahihinang tao. Pero alam mo kung ano ang nakita natin sa labanang iyon? Ang mundo.
It's not that great.
At kaya tayo nagpapatuloy para gumanda ang mundo. Libre sa mga kadena ng nakaraan. Hindi ba magandang makita iyon?
I hate that you're right.
Hindi pa ako nagkamali.
Okay, so the story is that Lapu-Lapu and his army aimed poisoned arrows at the conquistadors' unarmed legs, killing Magellan. What was in those poisoned arrows? Lechon drenched in patis? Did Magellan die from stroke? And then, after Magellan was killed, Magellan's second in command demanded that Lapu-Lapu return Magellan's body. Why? That's like me finding out that my ex-husband just died and asking his current wife if I could have his useless dead body as opposed to his useless body while he was still alive. So because Lapu-Lapu is hella gangsta, he was like, nah, I'm gonna keep his dead body and hang it from the top of a coconut tree so that when the other ships see his amputated carcass flapping in the wind, they'll go, maybe we'll find spices on the other 6,999 islands. You know, instead of celebrating Lapu-Lapu, we really should be celebrating Magellan. I know it's an unpopular idea, but think about it. Magellan didn't just give Filipinos Catholicism. Magellan gave Filipinos the Santo Niño. The Santo Niño to Filipinos is what BTS is to teenage girls. Wherever Santo Niño is staying for his novena prayer tour, Filipinos gotta be there. But instead of throwing their good underwear at the Santo Niño, they'll throw their good rosaries at him and then cool themselves off with the holy water they stole from church. I mean, what would a Filipino house look like if Magellan never showed up? There would be no Santo Niño statues. There would be no paintings of the Last Supper. There would be no paroles for Christmas. There would be no Christmas. Filipinos with no Christmas? What the hell are Filipinos gonna do all year between September and January? Tatarek-tek? You know, we could all be Muslim. Do you know what Muslims do during Ramadan? They fast. Can you imagine Filipinos fasting for anything? We can't even fast for a colonoscopy. And that's not really even fasting. You just have to not eat between dinner and breakfast. And Muslims don't eat pork. They don't eat pork. There will be no tosilog, no longsilog, just bangsilog. And what would happen, or what would PCNs look like? There would be no Maria Clara dance, no fandango candle twirling dance. But some of you are thinking, great, PCNs will be half as long. No, they wouldn't. Cebu has a festival every year where they reenact the Battle of Mactan with famous Filipino actors. Here are a few excerpts from last year's festival. The first excerpt is of Lapu-Lapu's wife, Reina Bulacna, played by Lea Salonga. 525,600 minutes. That is the total number of minutes in a year. 525,600 minutes. Times that by 500 years of Spanish colonization is 262,800,000 minutes. Our next excerpt is of Lapu-Lapu, played by the one and only Manny Pacquiao. Sometimes when we thought the honesty is too much, I'm gonna hold you until the fear in me subsides. R.I.P. Lapu-Lapu, I'm Manny Pacquiao. Thank you very much. The last excerpt is of Lapu-Lapu's rival, Raja Humabon of Cebu. Humabon told Magellan where to find Lapu-Lapu and to defeat him because Lapu-Lapu refused to convert to Christianity. Raja Humabon is played by Bruno Mars. I throw a grenade at ya, throw the blade in my hand at ya. I throw you under the bus, oh yeah. You know I'd do anything to kill ya. Thank you. That's my set. Good night.
Galing mo. Wow. You made this just for me?
Don't get carried away. I made a bunch of puso to bring to everyone. Inahan made me. You know what she always says? Did you eat yet?
Huh?
Eat, eat. There's plenty of food.
She's good about making sure we're fed. But look at this. It's so fancy. Hey, Your weaving skills keep getting better.
Of course, Lai Shosha. Do you expect anything else? I am an artist. Be grateful I spent the afternoon making these for you and the bod squad.
Someone's thirsty.
And listen, this is my lunch break, and those beautiful, strong cuties over there are looking like a snack.
The man or the woman?
All of the above.
La me. Is this Ginger?
I am exhausted, and I could use a distraction.
And Peanut.
While you get to play with sticks and swords, Diwata out here swooping in, talking to me in my sleep, giving me fevers.
This looks good and tastes good.
Elders telling me I gotta go find this plant or that one to help so-and-so.
You're a genius.
Lapu-Lapu, big brother, are you listening to me?
Of course I am. I could tell this was made with love. Malignan, you're a jack of all trades.
I don't know if I'm cut out for all this Babaylan training.
It can't be that bad. Anything's hard at first, but just give yourself time. There's a reason the Duwata chose you and not me.
You got the brawn, I got the brains.
But I'm not a dummy.
Hey, thanks for calling me Malignan. I appreciate you doing that for me.
Are people still calling you Ming Ming?
Yeah, during ceremonies, I guess it's expected, but Malignan is who I am.
I agree.
Folks keep dead naming me. I mean, come on. If y'all can say matang mataunas without breaking a sweat, you can say Malignan.
People.
I get it. Change is hard sometimes. You know, to be good, we have to do good, and it's not in our belief to judge. They'll get it eventually.
Hey, I'm proud of you, Igson. You really come into your own. Padayon lang. And don't forget, you've got the blood of Datu Mangal and Matang Mataunas running through your veins. Be proud of that.
I don't condone nepotism, but yes, mom and dad do always have my back.
I'm their favorite progeny, though.
With all due respect, Manong, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. And can we please circle back to you saying I'm a genius? You might be the triple threat of Mactan, but you know you can't live without me.
Hey, you're right. I can't live without you.
I mean, who would come up with all of Datu Lapu-Lapu's best ideas? There's a queer mastermind behind every revolution.
Yeah. Speaking of revolutions, you got any fresh ideas?
Not yet, but it'll come to me.
You already know Dad had a dream. Magellan plans on taking Mactan tomorrow. We need a plan of attack.
What about Dad's amulet? We can use it to direct a whirlpool around his ships.
It's gone. Celio borrowed it.
Oh, yeah, we're not getting that back.
What are the pros and cons? I mean, I've got 1,000 plus of the best warriors, but they have weapons we can't even compete with.
They're so mayabang. I mean, who do they think they are with their ridiculous armor? Fools. Hello, init diri baho ninyo. Your stick is upsetting our ecosystem. They smell like garlic when they haven't even eaten any. I thought you smell bad, but these guys kick it up a notch.
Is that an insult or a compliment?
I mean, what is all that armor for? I gotta hand it to them, though. They shine bright like dolphins in the sea at high noon.
Okay, Malignan, I should get back to brainstorming.
It's just bad design. Honestly, who approved that mess?
Hey, thanks for bringing me food, but you should probably go home now. You can ponder about the Spaniards' get-ups there.
They have limited mobility. They're irritable from the sweat rashes. I mean, they're lucky they can walk. The King of Spain must be thick-headed to send them out here dressed like that.
Malignan.
And if you're gonna be covered in armor, why wouldn't you go all the way? Their calves are completely exposed.
Okay, Igson, you're stressing me out. Wait. You're right. Their calves are completely exposed.
I know how you can defeat Magellan and his shiny trinkets. And with the sea diwata working their magic amongst the coral reefs, those top-heavy clunkers don't stand a chance.
Malingan, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I told you I come up with all the best ideas. Let's make history.
Woo! Give it up one more time for all the performers. Wow, what a show. What an evening. So glad you were all able to join us tonight. Truly tragic that Magellan couldn't join us. Guess that's what happens when you try to play chieftains against each other in your larger effort to gain glory by circumnavigating the earth for the very first time. Oh, and give it up for yourselves for coming out. Hope you don't hit too much boat traffic on the way back home, and better pray to the boat traffic gods. Oh, and while we're at it, give it up for the rice god, the river god, the ocean god, the mountain god, the forest god, the show god, and my personal favorite, the lechon god. Oh, and the air horn god, of course. All right. Thanks again so much for coming out. Y'all have a great night, and don't go colonizing foreign lands if you don't have to, all right? Good night.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. If you haven't already, please donate to Brandon Lee and the Malaya Movement. Also, please follow us on social media. The links are on our Twitch About section at the bottom of the Twitch page. And please check out some of our upcoming workshops. We have the amazing Rena Beth teaching acting workshop, and also equally amazing Li Ling Ao teaching directing workshop. These two individuals are amazing, and they are prolific at what they do. So please sign up for that. We have lots of room, and it's starting soon. The acting workshop starts on Monday, the directing workshops the following week. We're also co-presenting work in the 24th Annual United States of Asian America Festival from APIC. Specifically, we're also co-producing Lauren Garcia's Killy Girl, May 29th at 7 p.m. It'll be streaming. And we're co-presenting at Campfest, the Fabulous Filipino Brothers and Lumpia with Vengeance, both on May 14th at Fort Mason. Finally, we want to thank all the artists that contributed tonight. Once again, it'll take another 90 minutes to name them all. So we'll just thank everybody all at once, but you'll find them also in our program. They donated their time and efforts to this show, so please support them. Give it up one more time for all the artists. Yay! And we also want to thank Lindsay Ordesta, who stage managed, and Dave Ragaza at the tech booth, our virtual tech booth. We couldn't have done this show without them, and we wouldn't have even dreamed up of the show without the illustrious Patty Cachapero. Thank you so much. She brought this event to our attention, and so she approached us about this about a month ago. So thanks to her and everyone for their inspiration and determination to make the show happen. And I hope we made Lapu-Lapu proud tonight. Stay safe, and yes, thank you again. Keep on fighting. Good night, everybody.